What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Today I have for you guys another exciting unboxing to dig into. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. Before you head out, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button. Really appreciate it, everyone. So we have a knife coming in from Kizer, and this is going to be out of their premium line. We have the sleeve, we have the double door magnetic opening or magnetic closure here, and then we are going to get our paperwork and a microfiber cloth in here. I've not been into this guy yet, so we are taking a look at this for the first time together. Sticker and extra hardware. Very nice touch, and that will be it for inside the box. And then we have our Velcro pouch here, and then we have our knife here. Feel free to let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So we're taking a look at the Kizer Beyond. And this is one that really looked interesting to me. Just everything combined. The blade shape, the handle shape, the material choices are excellent, especially in this given price point. So we're looking at S35 VN for our blade steel. We have a Tanto style blade, satin finish. We have a cutout that runs into a fuller here, gives it a nice aesthetic. I believe sharpening choil looks good. I believe that fuller there is just for aesthetics. We have the cutout for deployment, and man, the detent, guys, is tuned nicely. And this thing's already, they have these tuned very, very well. Guys, the reverse flick is absolutely money. And these are going to be priced very well, considering the materials and the build quality. Their S35 is kind of like their bread and butter when it comes to their more premium end. 154 is their true bread and butter. That's what they do a lot of knives in, but their S35 is done very well also. So this is kind of what I was talking about here. This is what I was talking about. This looks really cool with the blade shape combined with this futuristic looking handle. And then you have this nice titanium geared backspacer. I like the simple milled titanium clip. I just thought if this was the right size, it would be extremely comfortable. And it is. This is, if you have about XL size hands, large to XL size hands, this could potentially be very comfortable for you. You have a nice little row of jimping here. It is fine jimping, but it's been kind of smoothed down. Still works, but not as grippy as it may look, but still going to be functional. You do have this little slant here that you'll be able to choke up on top of. There's nothing sharp there. It's still smooth. So you should be able to get pretty close, up on that edge for more control. And then because there's nothing really preventing you from doing so, you can kind of climb up on that tip there and make more precise cuts if you need to. As far as the lock bar access, it is excellent. There is a ton of room to get in there to that lock bar. And then, like I said, the action is already buttery smooth. That's one thing Kizer does very well. Knife model in and knife model out is they do a great job on their action. And this thing is buttery smooth. You can just hear that detent click in. Oh, really nice. Really, really nice. Why don't we go ahead, we'll check that guy in the pocket and see what it looks like. We'll get our issuing stitches hank out here and see what we got for looking in the pocket here. The retention is definitely tight on this guy here. Going to be your standard milled clip there. You'll have a tiny bit. That's really good for a milled clip, actually. You'll have a tiny bit there, maybe like a 1/4 inch or less. Definitely well under my preference of 1/2 inch or under. Typically, that's what I go for, is 1/2 inch or under, and I'm good to go. Definitely has good retention on the clip there. It's not overly done, but definitely going to do the job. We also have no hardware on the front for the body. Not going to be left hand friendly as far as reversing that pocket clip, but what we have here is an extremely clean looking handle. You just have the pivot there, and that is a smooth, clean pivot, no tolling. And then you have your tolled side here for your pivot, one body screw, and then your clip screw, which will act as a secondary body screw, I'm guessing, tied into that backspacer. Yes, so this is the way I think more designs should be done. There's almost no reason for it. That screw is going to be running through the backspacer and then into this handle here. And what that does is keep any hardware on the face or show side of the knife. It keeps it obsolete. There is no hardware there. And I think this is the way. This is the way to keep knives clean. And the other thing is, guys, it makes disassembly extremely easy. You pull the pivot off, pull these 2 screws off, and you are into the entire knife. So it should be a very simple disassembly. Should be very easy and clean. We'll do that in a separate video and kind of see what it looks like, what it takes to get into it and go through everything, but it should be a very simple disassembly. While I'm thinking about it, let's check this edge. Got some magazine paper here, good old SMKW catalog. And she is, if I can get the paper here, she is nice and sharp. Yeah, nice edge on this guy here. And Kizer has done a better and better job on their edges from factory, in my opinion. You'll have to let me know if that's your experience as well. But, I've been buying Kizers for quite a few years now. And I can just see the change in their knives, from tip to butt. Edges are getting better. Fit and finish is getting better. The action, everything is getting better, and they're just doing a solid job pumping out just tons and tons of models, and more often than not, they're typically a hit. You know what I mean? Even the ones that aren't a huge hit, they're still really good. So they are just doing a phenomenal job, and it doesn't seem like they are slowing down at all. It just seems like month after month they are just pumping them out. Even when you kind of see, it feels like we're kind of in a semi-slow period for some of the bigger production companies, but Kizer just still keeps pumping stuff out. What I mean is, I haven't seen a ton from like Kubey, a ton from Civivi, Miguron. Vosteed's been putting out some stuff, and Kizer's been putting out some stuff pretty much steadily. And Vosteed is, a very small shop in comparison to some of them companies. So for them to kind of be keeping up with some of the big dogs, that is impressive. But Kizer is just absolutely slaying it. Their button locks are getting better. Their crossbar clutch locks are absolutely phenomenal. Their titanium frame locks have been getting increasingly better over the last couple of years. I remember getting a titanium frame lock from them maybe like 2 years back, and it was missing quite a bit in the action department, in the factory edge department, but they have definitely kind of put the pedal to the metal and really increased what they're doing as far as their quality control and their designs. They're not just kind of repeat putting out the same design and dressing it up in different stuff. Now they do that with the Sheepdog and like the Drop Bear, but those two are kind of their premier models, and people want those models, so they do them in different materials, but they're not regurgitating the same models over and over and over again. They are consistently coming out with new models, different stuff, and I like the looks of this one. We got this real futuristic looking handle, nice clean Tanto style blade. I was gonna call it kind of a Japanese Tanto, but it doesn't have that. It's kind of in the middle. You know, it's a very unique looking Tanto. It has a very subtle tip here, and then the dull grind here, but it does come down nice and thin here. Gets a little bit thicker, and then it gets thicker as you move up towards the tip here. Definitely a cool looking blade shape. Not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but even though it still has it's just above the pivot, which is not that high in comparison to certain, other models that have a very high tip. Even some drop points have a little bit higher tip than this. We just looked at one recently, and I think it was from QSP. But all things considered, this will make a nice little EDC knife. It's not overly big. It's not too small. This is going to be in a lot of people's wheelhouses. You'll have to let me know what you guys think down in the comments of this Kizer Beyond. I love hearing from you guys down there. Always appreciate your insight, input. Let me know what you think. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Really appreciate it when you do that. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We release videos every single day, sometimes twice a day. Would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple new videos. Go check one of them out, and I will catch you on the next one.